Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Game 3 of this Best of 3 series between BratOK, the yellow Terran, and XelRa, the red Protoss player in the bottom right down here on the Shakuras Plateau. Kind of interesting name. I guess it's kind of a plateau sticking out of the water. I don't know. It doesn't seem too terribly plateau-y to me. Perhaps these bases are considered plateaus. Apparently, I heard recently that the difference between a plateau and a mesa and all that, those different terms that mean hill with a flat top, it's just the size of them. So maybe that's why this is a plateau. In any case, BratOK, I think in this case, BratOK, we've seen in the last couple games, has pretty much gotten outplayed by XelRa. In game 1, he just got way overpowered. Just was a little bit too slow on his control. BratOK was in both games actually. He won game 2 because he was able to hold things off pretty well. It was a little bit scrappy. He didn't do as well as he could have. But that in the end, he had a really nice drop at the same time, which polished off XelRa's economy, because XelRa was that's the thing about warp gates is, you can rally your forces forward, right? You can always rally your forces forward immediately. You can put the pressure on very quickly and very easily, but then you don't end up with any forces back at home. And so if you get counterattacked, it's harder to defend because you don't have, a pool of reinforcements waiting at your front door to hold that kind of thing off. So kind of the double-edged sword of the warp gates. Anyway, XelRa's going to get in here to try and do some harassment. SCV is going to scram. Uh-oh, counterattack. Defended, or rather evaded by this probe here. In any case, both players just going to be scouting each other here really quick and seeing how things go. This is, of course, the map with the destructible rocks in the background. I like how XelRa has gone ahead and put down a pylon in the back so he can see exactly what's going on. If the rocks start getting hit, he can... actually, depending on where his screen is, I think he can hear the rocks being destroyed if that becomes an issue later on. This probe's just going to stick around and see what happens. He can't get into the base. That's actually interesting. He's leaving it there. Oh, what is he doing? He's checking for... Oh, actually, that's pretty smart. Checking for extra pylons or anything like that, because he doesn't know where that probe went exactly or what it was doing when it was in his base, so he's going to check around for any proxy pylons. Pretty smart thing to do. That's like a... That's something that people do a lot in the earlier leagues. It's not something that you see a lot at the pro level, people trying to sneak a little pylon in the enemy base. But it is something you see often in, like gold and platinum leagues. You see people trying to hide a pylon somewhere in the enemy base with their scouting probe. And the reason why it's done a lot is because gold and platinum players often do not scout it. This is, of course, not the situation. But that's the thing is, when you're a higher level, even though people don't do it as much, you still want to scout for it all the time just to make sure, and that's one of the reasons why you get into a high level, is because you get used to scouting things all the time, so you don't lose to those silly little things. Anyway, BratOK doing pretty much the same build every single game. One racks tech lab into command center. Reaper's over here just chilling like a villain. Hello there, Reaper. They look kind of funny if you look at their faces. They're like wearing some strange mask there. Anyway, Reaper is not doing anything right now. I'm really kind of surprised by that. This SCV is still continuing to run around in circles, running laps around the Zealot. I'm really surprised he's not really scouting yet with this Reaper, although we have seen him try to scout with the Reaper first every single game so far, both games so far, and each time his Reaper has gotten completely shut down and hasn't really done much. He sees the Stalker at the front. This is his time to go. He's going to come in the back. Sentry is there to try and take care of the Reaper. Actually, Reaper about a match for a Sentry. Who's going to win? Reaper takes out the Sentry. That is huge. Oh, Reaper needs to run away from the Stalker. One hit left. Is he going to catch him, get that shot? No, does not get that shot off. So the Reaper survives with four hit points. And that was actually really big. That was his first Sentry. And so that means that Sentry had a lot of energy on it. Probably had 3 force fields on it. 3 force fields and or guardian shields. So that is actually huge to take out that first Sentry. In any case, XelRa is actually going to put a little bit of pressure on here with not that many units. which is kind of interesting. Bunker on the top is going to get salvaged. He's going to rebuild it at the bottom here. And that was kind of weird. I heard the explosion sound. That kind of freaked me out. I heard the explosion sound right as the mule landed. I was like, wow. Did they add something that mules now make a huge sound when they come in here? Oh, that Reaper is back to try and take down this pylon. Oh, Stalker gets the last hit on it. That was actually really close. It wouldn't have taken that many more hits. Oh, here's those few force fields. Actually, BratOK is in a little bit of trouble. Bunker's about to complete, though. He's got to put down another bunker. Yeah, bunker completes just in time. He needs to bring some SCVs right now to repair that bunker. And there he does a little bit late after White had already been driven off. And that was actually pretty smart. You want to get at least a few SCVs out there to repair just in case they're going to go with a really bullish attack. And he's obviously going for a really strong attack here. How many gates does he have? He actually only has 3 gateways. So this is not an all-in by any means. He's only got 3 gateways. You know, if it was 6 gateways, then it would be pretty much basically a huge all-in attack. Well, it still might not even be all-in, actually. That's what MC does. You know, gets 6 gateways and just gets a huge amount of units and then busts the front with force fields. In any case, so WhiteRa, my point being, is still taking a little bit economically. He's trying to do what damage he can. He's sacrificing the Zealots and then falling back with the tech units. Here he comes in with a lot of Zealots. Nice force fields, keeping anything from getting into the repair. He's just going to sack the bunker. He might need to get some stuff on that other bunker, but he is forced to retreat. WhiteRa retreating out of that base there. And BratOK needs to be a little bit careful. His stem runs out. He doesn't have any medevacs, so he might need to be a little bit careful moving this far out, where he can get caught by those Zealots. Stims again, runs in. He might be able to polish off this army. Only 1 force field left in not a very good position. All the sentries are going to go down. Everything gets destroyed, and BratOK, suddenly with a huge lead, is going to be able to take out this pylon as well. I thought he was being a little bit overzealous moving down that ramp, to be honest, but producing out of 2 reactors and a tech lab, that is actually a lot of output. And so we saw him put out an additional basically 10 units in just a short amount of time to reinforce that attack down the hill. And he basically saw that there was a lack of Zealots. Like I said, he was running in, sacrificing the Zealots, and then running out again to save his tech units and building more Zealots so he could save those expensive units, the Stalkers and the Sentries. But what happened is he lost too many Zealots, and BratOK saw that and said, you know what, this is an opportunity I have. He doesn't have a lot of meat shield in front of that army. I might be able to polish off with these Marines, which are relatively cheap anyway if I lose a lot of them taking that out. So charged down and took out the remainder of his army. So he's going to come here for a little bit of a counterattack, expanding to this 3rd base in the meantime, folding the factory into scout. The forces can't go back to kill that factory. Force building the ramp to try and keep this army out. He cannot hold that for very long. He's got 1 more double force field, and that is pretty much it. Actually, let's see. He might have 2. Yes, okay, he is going to have 2 double force fields left. You basically need 8 sentries to continually force field this ramp because it's 2 force fields wide. 6 can still hold off for a while. 4 would be hard pressed, but with this Immortal standing on top of the ramp, he's gonna, well, you know, able to target fire down these these Marauders. Then it's pretty good defense there. Bringing, oh, this is a little bit dangerous actually. Well, his observer actually saw the army over here, so it's not as dangerous, but a little bit dangerous to bring all of his units back from that front door. But there is a drop coming in. He's going to hold the drop back, knowing that these units are right there. As soon as they fall back, he's going to come around the bottom, and we might see a 2-pronged attack with a large army going in the front, and then he's going to drop this in the back. This is a brilliant setup by BratOK. He scans, sees the front there, and he might do the other way around. Colossus, oh, that Colossus may save the game for him. But instead, he's going to do it the other way around. He's going to drop first, all the probes running, and then he's going to try and come in the front. There's a couple of medevacs in the front. He's bringing his whole army back to deal with this drop. Uh-oh, the Colossus goes in first, cliff walking up, gets in front, and gets killed off, gets picked off very quickly without doing enough damage. The main army's going to run in the front door now. They're going to go for that robotics facility. That Colossus is not ever going to see the light of day. And now his entire army is unified in the front. GG coming from WhiteRa. BratOK takes the game. Brilliant, brilliant play by BratOK. That was absolutely beautiful, beautiful play. And White Raw probably could have tried to hold off longer if he tried to hold up this ramp or what have you, but he knew that this expansion was up, so he knew that he was dead in the long run. Very, very nicely done by White Raw. I think he might have even wanted, because it was just a drop with 2 medevacs, it might have been smart to leave a couple sentries here at the front to force field this ramp in case he needed to get back here and defend, which is exactly what happened. He charged in the front, was able to reunite his army, and that was all she wrote, although actually the uniting the army might have been done anyway despite a couple force fields here, but it would be much more difficult to get up this ramp if there was force fields there, obviously. And really, I think what lost it is that Colossus running over here on its own. Look at that, the blood's still on the ground. Colossus, he just A-moved his whole army, and the Colossus got up here first because they didn't have to walk all the way around up this ramp. And because of that, the drop just picked off the Colossus, and that Colossus was what he needed to do the major damage to all these units. So anyways, BratOK taking the series. I'm sorry for poo-pooing him, showing some very good control and some very good decision-making and good multitasking in this game. So takes the series against White Raw. Hope you guys enjoyed the series. Thanks very much for watching. GG, take care. And again, I'm actually going to start, I might actually do some streaming tonight. This VODs will be up after that, so won't do any good for now. But I'm going to start laddering hopefully every night. And except for this weekend, actually, since there's a GSL finals party in Berkeley again. But I'm going to start laddering hopefully every night. And so you can watch me on Justin TV if you want to. Or if I end up obsing any games from some high-level players, or any other players, actually, and just anything fun going on, I'm going to stream that too. Anyway, GG, thanks for watching.